The first BAM element of beer making is fire. You need a heat source to make beer. Whether you're using a mix or making beer from scratch, you need to heat it. You can start your wort on the stovetop, but we recommend doing it outdoors. We use a backyard propane burner most people use to deep fry their turkeys. Steeping the wort outside is safer and doesn't make a mess in the kitchen. The other benefit is that you invite friends over for steeping night, a good excuse to socialize and involve friends and family in the process. This helps for good reviews when the beer is bottled and ready to drink. Element 2 of the BAM is a pot. A 5-gallon stainless steel pot is preferred. However, we started with a blue enamel camping pot and it worked just fine. Your pot should be at least 3 gallons if you're making beer from a mix, and 5 gallons if you're making beer from scratch. We base all of our instructions on a 5 to 6 gallon batch, just because it seems like if you're going to go to the trouble, you might as well do 5 or 6 gallons. 3-gallon batches are perfectly fine if it's just you and your girl or guy. The next BAM element is sanitizer. Yes, sanitizer. You can wash and wash and wash, but all your equipment needs to be sanitized. You can use a little bleach if that's all you have, but the big boys say don't use bleach. We have used it a couple times in the beginning. Just be sure to rinse, rinse, rinse. When you think you are finished rinsing, then rinse some more with very hot water. You don't want a bleach taste in your beer. Small bottles of sanitizer are only about $5. Whether you are making beer from a kit or from scratch, you will need to give it a stir, so a spoon is a BAM item. We had a plastic spoon around the house we used at first and it worked just fine. Once we got rich from drinking beer, we got a fancy stirring spoon from the Brew supply store. Once you have sanitized everything, boiled the wort or dissolved the mix and given it a stir, you will need to put it into a primary fermenter. Your primary fermenter should be at least 5 gallons unless you're doing a small batch. You will add water to make up the difference from your wort to fill a primary fermenter. You want some airspace in the top of the primary because the yeast needs room to work. Your fermenter needs to have a lid. You will make a hole in the lid to accommodate the airlock. The airlock is the last of the BAM elements. It allows gases produced by the yeast to be released without anything like bacteria, bugs, dust, and whatever getting in. The airlock is not expensive and you can pick up at a Brew supply store for $1.50.